Hey, what's up everyone? It's that time of year, the most wonderful time of year, where we announce and count down our top picks for semi-auto shotguns. Let's go. So I've been shooting professionally for over 15 years, and the last 4 years I've been reviewing shotguns. Over the last 4 years, we've reviewed nearly 50 semi-auto shotguns, so we have a pretty good grasp of what's out there on the market. We haven't shot them all. It is our goal to shoot them all, but that's gonna take some more time. So as we go through this list and rank the top semi-auto shotguns in the different categories, keep in mind, this is only shotguns we have personally reviewed. Hands-on experience. We don't talk to shotguns that we haven't reviewed, but here's the categories. We've broken this down into 4 different categories: best clay shooting shotgun, waterfowl, upland, as well as just your general hunting target shotguns. Now, each one of these categories has some subcategories. We have best on a budget. We have best value. This is a price to quality mix that we think is a really good sweet spot. And then we have best overall. So there's a lot of shotguns out there, and we've reviewed a whole bunch of them, but it's hard to keep it all straight. We created a little tool called Shotgun Finder, shotgunfind.com. And we actually utilize this tool for this video to help us put together all the data points, look at all the different shotguns, see where we've ranked them, what their value ratings are. And the coolest thing is, this is available to you. So after you get done watching this video, if you want to check out Shotgun Finder and do a little more of your own research, it is a great tool to help you find your next shotgun. Starting out, we're looking at best clay shotguns. Now, we didn't break this down to specific disciplines, just in general shooting clays. Starting with best on a budget, we have the CZ 712 G3. The 712 G3 comes in at an MSRP right around $800, making it a very affordable target shotgun. This shotgun has a 30-inch barrel with a stepped-up rib. It's around 8 pounds, has adjustable comb and shims, and has much improved ergonomics over the G2. It handles recoil nicely, well balanced, and it shoots great. So for around that $800 mark on a budget to get a dedicated target gun, the 712 G3 is a fantastic option when you're on a budget. Next up, we have our best value for a clay shooting shotgun. This is where we look at price to quality ratio. We look at the value, and the one gun that stands out among the rest is the SKB RS300. The RS300 is a highly adjustable shotgun that has youth and left-handed options, coming in at a price point of $1,229 MSRP. It's one of those shotguns, especially for youth, as they're changing and growing, that can be highly adaptable. Just a quality gun, not a lot of frills, but a ton of adjustability. And that's why it is our best value for a clay shooting semi-auto shotgun. Now looking at the best overall clay shooting semi-auto shotgun. When we look at best overall, this is just based on pure score. We're not considering the price, just what is the best shotgun we've reviewed in this category. And there's one gun that rises to the top, and that is the Beretta A400 Excel Multi-Target. The A400 Excel Multi-Target is one of those guns where the more we shot it, the more we loved it. Extremely light recoil with that kickoff recoil system. Very fast shooting shotgun. We like the idea of the adjustable ribs so you can shoot different disciplines. So much to like about this shotgun, and all I can say is every time I shot it, I felt like this gun. But there were some other shotguns that were right there with this shotgun. So honorable mention, contenders, you know, right in the mix. It's hard to separate some of these guns. Sometimes it's only a 1/10 of a point that separates them. We have the Benelli Performance Shop Ethos Sport AI. This is a brand new gun to the market this year. We did review it, really enjoyed that shotgun as well. And if we're gonna throw one more out there, the Beretta Excel Sporting was another great option. All right, waterfowl hunters, it's time to list our best semi-auto waterfowl shotgun, starting with best on a budget. Because not everyone can spend thousands and thousands of dollars, we like to list our favorite shotguns on a budget. And there's one gun that really stands out in this category, and that is the Weatherby Element Waterfowler. The Element feels great in the hands, it cycles well, and recoil was actually relatively good for an inertia shotgun. The trigger might be a little bit heavy, the controls are average, and the butt pad is curved, so it limits your ability for aftermarket recoil pads, but it does come with shims and spacers to adjust. Coming in at $799 for the Camo Waterfowler, this is a great option when on a budget. We really were surprised by the Weatherby Element. One of the standouts for us is on a gun at this price point, that had rubber overmolding on the grips. And it just feels great. Feels much more expensive than it is. So it's a great option on a budget. A few other options to consider if you're on a budget are the Mossberg 935, the TriStar G2 Pro, and the CZ 712 G3. One thing to mention about the 712 G3 is that it comes with two gas pistons, one for light loads, one for target loads. Each piston worked really well, but we thought it was a little clunky to have to switch pistons. But all things considered, we're talking about guns on a budget, and there's some really good options for you. Now jumping into best value for a waterfowl semi-auto shotgun, this category is competitive. There are a ton of guns that are a really good price to quality mix. But if we're only able to choose one shotgun, we have to go with the Franke Affinity 3. The Affinity 3 is one of those guns that as we shoot it and put it through torture tests and do all sorts of different stuff, it keeps rising at the top, often far outperforming much higher dollar guns. Coming in around $1,300 for the Waterfowl Elite, you get an awesome gun. Now, we said that this is a very competitive market, and it is because there's a lot of guns that were right there with the Affinity 3. The Mossberg 940 Pro is right there with the Affinity 3. I think the Affinity 3 has a little bit nicer finish, but the Mossberg 940 Pro has more adjustability out of the box. It's a lighter recoiling gun. They're both great guns, and there's even more. We could look at the Remington V3, the Rite Masai Mara, the Winchester SX4, and then of course the Beretta A300 Ultima. All these guns would be great options for waterfowl shotguns. But since we can only select one, the Affinity 3 is at the top of our list for best value. But screw value. We just want the best overall waterfowl shotgun in a semi-auto. You want it, you got it. It is none other than the Beretta A400 Extreme Plus. This gun, a little chunky in the hands, but man, the more you shoot it, the more you love it, which is common on several Beretta guns now that I think about it. Rubber overmolding, light recoil, very reliable, good controls. So much to love about this shotgun for waterfowl. Absolutely love it. It's a beast. We put it head to head with many other very popular waterfowl shotguns, and the A400 Extreme Plus keeps coming out on top. A few other guns in this category that were really close. The FabArm XLR Chesapeake. High quality, well-built shotgun. A little bit different than most shotguns with the bolt release being on the opposite side. But man, when it comes to quality and detail, FabArm really pays attention to their shotguns. Another contender in this mix would be Browning, with a couple really good options. A5 in an inertia shotgun, and the Maxxis 2 in a gas shotgun. Both really great waterfowl shotgun options. And then, of course, we gotta mention Brita 3.5 SM. This gun took a little while to get going, to cycle reliably, but once it did, man, was it a shooter. Absolutely fell in love with the B3.5 SM. So any of these guns are highly worthy of your consideration, and having a hard time weeding through it all, did we mention shotgunfind.com? All right, moving on to one of my favorite categories, and that is Upland. Best semi-auto Upland hunting shotgun. Starting with best on a budget, this was such an easy pick. It was just night and day ahead of all others, and that is the Rite Gordian 20 gauge. 6 pounds, 2 ounces in the 20 gauge version. It's easy to handle, has great ergonomics. This shotgun is $949 MSRP. You can carry it all day in the field. In fact, I have. I've taken this on several upland hunts. One to North Dakota last year, carried it all day. Slender grips, well balanced, easy to carry, and it shoots absolutely great. Let's just cruise right along to best value, because we're gonna continue to talk about the Rite Gordian. Because when we looked at all the shotguns, while there's several in this category that we could say they're good guns for the money, good value to quality mix, the Gordian, again, night and day above all others. MSRP of $949 for a shotgun of this caliber. Still not sure how it's so affordable. But if we had to throw a couple more guns into the mix, we would look at the Rite Masai Mara. This shotgun is about 6 pounds, 5 ounces in the 20 gauge, so it's slightly heavier than the Gordian Walnut. Another good option may be the Winchester SX4 Upland. Now, the SX4 Upland is about $1,400 MSRP, and it's 6 pounds, 12 ounces. Significantly heavier than the Gordian, and it's more money. We do like the SX4, but this category is pretty easy, hands down, Rite Gordian. Now taking a look at the best overall Upland semi-auto shotguns. This is an interesting category. A lot of good guns to choose from, but there's a few that stand out, and the one that stood out more than the others is the Benelli Ethos. Now that being said, we have not reviewed the straight up Ethos model. We've reviewed the Ethos Sport in 28 gauge. We've reviewed the Benelli Ethos Cordoba Best, and we've reviewed the Benelli Performance Shop Ethos Sport AI. I believe I got all those names right. And based on our experience with all those Ethos guns, when we look at just the base model Ethos, we think it's gonna be a fantastic option for upland hunting. There's a few minor differences between the Ethos we've reviewed and the baseline Ethos, and we're probably not going to review every single sub-model within a series or a family of shotguns. But when we look at the Benelli Ethos, it's about $2,300 MSRP, just over 6 pounds in the 12 gauge, but if you look at the 20 gauge, 5 pounds, 10 ounces. The Ethos has good ergonomics, it's beautiful, a great shooter, easy breakdown. About the only downside we found with the Ethos we reviewed was the trigger was a little heavier than we would expect for a shotgun at this price point. But still, a lot to love about the Benelli Ethos. Some of the other contenders we looked at that the Ethos beat out by the narrowest of margins, and some of this comes down to personal opinion, and you might disagree with me, and you should comment down below how you disagree. The FabArm L4S is a great option, beautiful, high quality shotgun. It's only available in 12 gauge, unfortunately, and for me personally, if I'm looking for an upland gun, I do like to have a sub gauge option. Another great option would be Browning's A5 in 20 gauge, 5 pounds, 9 ounces. This is among the lightest semi-auto upland options. We really enjoyed shooting the A5 20 gauge. It's a great shotgun, very valid option, but I do gotta admit that the Benelli Ethos is a prettier gun, easier on the eyes. Benelli does a great job with their designs. However, the A5, very nostalgic. It's not the same as the old Auto 5, but it looks the same. And there's something about that that I just appreciate. All right, you're one of those people. Steve, I'm not dedicated upland, I'm not dedicated waterfowl, I'm not dedicated clay shooting. I just like to run around, shoot it up, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's great, because I'm kind of that guy too. If you just want one shotgun, all purpose, here's our list. Best on a budget, we're back to the Weatherby Element. This time we're looking at the synthetic version versus the waterfowl version. Basically the difference, one's camo, one's black. All purpose, you can go black, you can save yourself some money. MSRP of the synthetic version is about $649. And for all the reasons we previously mentioned, for a shotgun at this price point, holy smokes, you want one gun to bang around with and do it all, Weatherby Element, pretty good option. Hey, have we mentioned the Rite Gordian? That's a pretty good option. They make a synthetic model, and they also make a synthetic compact model with a lot of adjustability. The Wimberley S12 is a shotgun we reviewed this year. They do make a standard version for $589. Holy smokes, a decent semi-auto for $589? That's worthy of consideration. Let's move on though. Looking at best value for all-purpose semi-auto shotguns, we have one standout here, which is the Mossberg 940 Pro. The 940 Pro, to me, stands out as a do-it-all shotgun. Is it a great upland shotgun? I think it's a little bit heavy. Is it a great waterfowl shotgun? I think it's a contender for best value. It was right up there with the Affinity 3. Is it a phenomenal clay shooting gun? It's pretty darn good. It's kind of one of those all-around, this is a really good value shotgun. Coming in at a price point of $987. This is a shotgun I've shot tens and tens of thousands of rounds through in many different ways. I've used and abused this shotgun like no other, and it holds up. It's light on recoil, has a ton of adjustability, really good ergonomics, and is incredibly reliable. For $987, this is what makes it the best value in all-purpose shotguns. But there's other great contenders for this category as well. Guns like the Beretta A300 Ultima at $979, the Franchi Affinity 3 at $949 for the synthetic version. One other one, the Winchester SX4 at $898 for a synthetic version. The SX4 is a great gun, like the 940 Pro, light recoiling, great reliability. The one drawback of the SX4 is it does not come with a shim kit. So between the receiver and the stock, no shims to adjust, drop, or cast. So if it fits you great out of the box, or you just need a little length of pull adjustment, great. But for all those reasons, we're sticking with the Mossberg 940 Pro as the best value in all-purpose shotguns. But you want the best overall, do you? We got one for you. It is the Benelli Ethos Cordoba Best. It's an ultra-reliable gun. We've talked about the Ethos a little bit. Ported barrels. We shot it extremely fast. Simple breakdown. It has the best coating, so you can pretty much never clean it. No, we would never recommend that, but very durable shotgun. And this shotgun comes in at a price point of $25.49. It's one of those guns where I could just see myself, hey, I'll go chase Upland with this gun. I'll go shoot clays with this shotgun. I'll hunt waterfowl with this shotgun. It's one of those guns that could do it all. Couple contenders, however, we have the FabArm XLR Chesapeake. Downside of the Chesapeake is it only comes in a camo option. Now it is intended to be a waterfowl shotgun, but our good buddy Travis Mears also shoots it in exhibitions, which really points to its reliability. If you can do what Travis does using the FabArm XLR, you know you got a really good shotgun. A couple other contenders would be the Browning A5 and Maxxis 2. The A5 at about $15.39, the Maxxis 2 at $17.29. And we did do a video if we could only have one Browning semi-auto shotgun, which one would we have? You want to know the answer to that? Go check out the video. Actually, it was the A5. You don't need to check it out. You're watching this one, and we appreciate that. And that is our list of best semi-auto shotguns. Again, only shotguns we reviewed. Every year as we review more and more shotguns, we update this list. So you can look back at our prior videos, see how they've changed, or you can just head to Shotgun Finder and do your own research and say, hey, this one makes the most sense for me. We appreciate you guys watching. Again, we want to know, do you agree? Do you disagree? We'd love to hear it down in the comments. Remember, whether you're in the field or in life, you're only going to hit those shots you're laser focused on. So live target focused. See ya!